Welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. All right, another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. We're back with another episode of CyberCEO. Of course, my name is Jello. I'm your host, and we are very lucky to have a very special guest on the show right now. Enid, how are you doing today?
I'm just fine, thank you, Jello. It's nice to be here.
Yes, thank you very much for giving us your time. We know you're very, very busy. For the benefit of everyone who's watching and listening, can you tell us something about yourself, Enid?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So that caught me off guard. Yeah, I've been working in the real estate industry for the past about 3 years. But before that, I'd taken quite a bit of time off. So it's neat to be back in this and doing something new. And yeah, lots of learning.
Lots of learning, of course. So 3 years in the industry, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Now, before you had your own cyberbacker, was this your first time working with someone remotely?
No, when I first started with 𝗙liche𝗹𝗹𝗶𝗹, we had been working with a number of other cyberbackers periodically, usually just one at a time though. And they would help with things like social media postings or some marketing stuff or random administrative tasks.
Okay, gotcha. So not really your first time, but can you tell me how's the experience so far working with your own cyberbacker, Alma?
You know, it's been really fantastic. I think part of it was that there was more clarity on the jobs we needed her assistance with. And then we really took the time to interview and to go through the process to find the cyberbacker that best suited our needs and our team and the personality and stuff that jived. It's been fantastic. Alma is wonderful.
All right, that's good to know. Let's talk about Alma real quick. Tell me about her personality, the days you work every day, interaction-wise, things like that.
Alma is fantastic. You know, she is very motivated. You know, she really wants to do a great job. She's constantly learning and reading. I think sometimes she really does pay closer attention to our contracts and things than I do for the most part, because she's really learned it so well that I can trust her to catch those little nuances or to thoroughly go over contracts. So she's just been super thorough. She's learned really well. She's caught on and done a lot of work on her own time too, to make sure that she's understanding things. We communicate regularly throughout the day. We usually use Google Hangouts to chat back and forth. And of course, we share emails, so we can exchange emails, or she can drop into my email inbox and check on stuff just to make sure that we're all working on the same page. She's definitely an integral part of our team.
That's good to know. Very integral part of your team. Now, usually, when we say an assistant, someone to help you out with the business, there's always that narrative that this person should be in the same office, physically there with you in the same state, same place. Now, this is a virtual relationship. What makes it work? What makes it a successful partnership?
You know, it's funny. We had to kind of overcome some of those misconceptions ourselves, because this was sort of the first time that we'd really worked more intimately with one of our virtual assistants or remote workers. So it took some adjusting too, but all of our systems are online, so you could really do it from anywhere, and it makes sense. And so while we would love to have Alma in our offices because we enjoy her so much, she has become a dear part of our team. It's just clearly not necessary. She does a fantastic job. I don't know how she does it because she works during our normal business days. So she's working while she should be sleeping.
Yeah,
we're awake. And so she's balancing that with family and things like that. So it's a huge blessing. And then I can also, because she's done such a great job at learning and catching on to all of our things that we need in our systems and our processes and tones and things, I can go on vacation and safely leave the majority of my tasks to her, or at least to keep an eye on things to know when stuff needs to be escalated or not. So, you know, it just doesn't matter that she isn't physically with us, except that we would love to see her and spend time with her.
Because the trust has been built, as what you mentioned. You can go on a quick vacation, just leave everything with Alma. Is that right?
Yeah, she really does. I mean, most of it. Like she has her own job, and I have a couple other jobs. So of course, she can't do everything for me while I'm away. Although, as much as I would love that, but she really does make sure that none of the critical things get dropped while I'm
Of
gone.
course, of course. Now, let's dive into that real quick. What are these things and these tasks that you have your cyberbacker do for you in your business?
Yeah, so she's quickly morphed into someone who handles our transaction management on the buyer side of things. So in real estate, of course, she handles all the buyer contracts. And on occasion, she'll help me with listing stuff. But usually, her role starts as soon as we get into contract, as far as that sort of thing goes. And she can handle it from start to finish just fine. There are occasions where something weird pops up. And so she'll just reach out and ask questions or look for clarity. Usually, she's already kind of read through the contract to see what the options might be and just is asking for clarification on those items. Yeah, she does all of that. We have a database, like a client management software that she maintains for us, that she kind of helps keep clean and adding and making notes to and updating as necessary. And then just those one-off projects, like, hey, can you find this information for me or create this spreadsheet so we can track this thing? Or, when we have client events, she'll manage our RSVP list. She'll help with the social media postings. Oh, that's another thing. She also does creates a lot of the marketing structure. So we use tools like Canva, or even within the Keller-Williams systems, they have some template, a lot of stuff that, just the time consuming things that she just handles. Yeah.
So basically, she's everywhere in the business, is that right? Almost everywhere.
Just about. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, her role could still grow in the next few months and the years to come. What are some of the things that you're considering having her do in the future for you and your business?
She's so efficient. She's often asking for more work. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So yeah, right now she's taking some social media training through Cyberbacker, so provided through Cyberbacker, so that we can use her help in managing our social media postings and kind of trying to get a better handle on that to see if that's something we can improve. And so with her help, we hope to do that.
Very, very exciting for her. More things for her to do. That means growth for her and growth for you in your business, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Now, what have been some of the challenges that you've had working with Cyberbacker, or let's say opportunities for growth?
Yeah, of course, there's always a learning curve initially. There is a little bit of a challenge, at least there was for me, in getting to know this person that we didn't actually like have face-to-face conversations through Zoom or something. That might have been better, but it wasn't necessary, but maybe it could have helped. I'm not sure. But there was that a little getting to know you process that maybe took longer than it could have if we were in person. And the only other thing that I could really think of is just sort of cultural nuances. Like sometimes there's a little bit of what I'd say like lost in translation, because we might say something and her English is fantastic. She speaks and writes it very well, but there's just those little cultural things that you wouldn't necessarily know if you weren't from around here. Or geography. Sometimes, and this isn't any judgment on her because I booked a birthday party in some other state accidentally. So this isn't a thing, but it's just, understanding our locations and where we're doing listings and things like that. So some of it, but nothing like mission critical, it was all little things that are just finessed and learned over time.
Of course, again,
so we just stay in communication, like ask questions, or when we see something that's a little off, just slightly like, hey, maybe next time use this verbiage. And so that we're also making it so she doesn't have to come up with stuff. Like these little blips help us really streamline and make our process better and easier for her.
Of course. Again, that's what you mentioned. Helping them out when it comes to these things because they aren't physically there, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, one last question for you, Enid. What advice would you be able to give other business owners when they're hiring their own cyberbacker?
Most of the time, we're hiring out of pain. We're overloaded. I'm doing 4 jobs and I need some help, and I'll just take the first person. And it's not to say that that first person isn't going to be an excellent, but there's also worth the time and energy and effort in interviewing people, having those conversations and making sure that you really are finding the right fit for your team. Because while I have worked with some lovely virtual assistants before, they didn't have the right fit or tone or personality for our team and how we operate. And so when deciding to start with Cyberbacker, we just really decided we weren't going to hire out of pain. We were going to take the time to interview and to really be sure that the person we started to partner with was the person for us. And so I think that extra step is definitely worth the effort. And then just to stay in communication, constantly asking or giving feedback and staying positive, and just some grace, because things are going to happen. It is going to be weird. There's a learning curve. Just always staying in touch and being open to feedback on both sides.
Again, this is a two-way street, right? Kind of a relationship. So feedback should come from each side, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Now, Alma is going to be listening to us, of course, right now. Would you want to give her a quick shout out on the show?
Oh my goodness, Alma, we love you. You're fantastic. We are so happy that you're a part of our team. Wish you were here. I mean, I'm sure you love where you are and you don't want to leave your family, but it would be nice someday to get together. You've been such a huge help to our team, and we're grateful to know you and work with you. It's been fantastic.
Of course, we look forward to where this partnership with you and your business would be. And of course, Alma, as your cyberbacker, would be in the next few years to come. Enid, thank you very much for being on the show today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.